Previously on High Five Garage.
Everybody good? Okay, here is the process of getting this ready to put the glass back in. First step, I think I'm going to tape off the interior so that this doesn't go crazy into the interior when we're cleaning stuff. And then I'm going to clean this ridge of any rust, anything, whatever. And then sand this dash piece, remove all the vents, and then paint the dash piece, mask it off, paint the dash piece, as well as re-glue the headliner up. And then hand paint this seal with some white, seal area with some white. We got some white, we got some black for the dash, we got some paint brushes. I'm just gonna spray the white into like the top or something and dip it in there and then paint it. Yeah, and then we're just gonna use one of those rust removal wheels to get all the rust out. Cool, that should work. I just don't want a crazy amount of dust going into the bus. That's gonna come right off as soon as we start painting stuff, so at least that'll keep stuff, well, from going in the bus. So these are the rust removal wheels I like to get. This one is from Harbor Freight. I'm pretty sure other companies sell them as well. These have been really good to me. I recommend do not get the ones with the nut to like tighten this piece on. Get the ones that are pre-made, pressed, welded, whatever the heck they are. I have had those come loose and I have had them explode because of it. Also, I am putting it on a Dremel, air Dremel, so RPM is probably too much, so regulate it. Do not just give it all the beans, it might explode. So just letting you know, but definitely don't get the one with the adjuster because they always come loose. So I'll give you a little demonstration right now. I'm only gonna do it where there is bare metal. But yeah, check this out. So it takes off all the surface rust and then give it some white and bam, it'll be good. So there was actually a lot of surface rust. I did not run into any holes or anything like that. You can see it now. Almost all of it's gone. The bottom definitely got the worst of it, but definitely a lot cleaner. Before I put paint on it, I want to do some of this Loctite like rust neutralizer stuff. I don't know if it works. I have no idea. I always just put it on stuff I'm not sure about, and it can be painted over. So same thing, I'm going to put this into a little jar. a little cup and paint it on the whole surface. You might be saying to yourself, I hope he did it on the inside as well. I did. I took all the visors off and stuff like that, pulled the headliner down a little bit, and then also sanded and coated on the inside. And then also in the video you can see I did the inside as well here. So it's all coated, it all has some rust prevent in it, and then let that dry, put some paint on it. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm gonna take out these vents. Those are pretty bad. I think they sell them, or I know someone who has some nice ones. And then give this a quick sand, mask off the front of the dash. And then this will get some black paint, but I'll have to do a lot of masking. Vents came right out. We got 2 Phillips on both of those. And then these are actually clips you can just pinch on the bottom. This one was destroyed, so I didn't really care. This one I got under the dash and just pinched them, and you pull it out. But I'll probably need a new one anyway. So from here, I'm just gonna sand this with like 400 and then give it a quick spray and it'll be all good. And a little better. All right, let me mask it off. All right, it's all masked off. I'm gonna give it one last wipe. I did cover the VIN, so we won't get paint on that. But yeah, that should keep black out of everything. I might put one more piece right here, just so nothing kind of falls onto it. But besides that, should be good. Ooh, so much better. That looks awesome. Now, I'm gonna pull all the masking stuff off. I'm probably gonna give it a second to dry. And then really quick, just paint the white in around the edge and it'll be done. It'll be ready for the window. Yeah. And if I didn't already say, I did get a spare for the bus. So I got a couple parts from a friend, same guy who's giving me the exhaust and stuff. So I'm really quick gonna hit this with a wire wheel, paint it black, same black as the dash, because I'll hopefully have some left. And yeah, then get a tire for it. So I was gonna do the spare black, but I decided to kind of just do it silver and kind of like patina it. Don't make it like perfect, because those ones aren't perfect either. Yeah, so I kind of just laid it in there. Patina. Yeah. Also, I got the little vent pieces sanded and painted the same color as the dash. Yeah. Now, clean the surface again, just in case anything got onto it. From here, shake the white up, spray it into the top. Okay, get your brush. And see what happens. I've never used this white before, so we are gonna see how it does. I think I need to shake that can a little more. But this is exactly what the process is gonna be, or it might just need like a couple coats. And I think I said before, but the reason I am painting it on instead of like spraying it on is I don't want to get the patina of the rest of the bus. So doing it like this, I can control where the white goes. And yeah. Okay, let me see if I can get this a little bit thicker. So once you let it dry and you do a couple more coats, definitely seems to come out pretty much solid white. So and you can see why I don't want to accidentally get it on this color, because this is, see, whites are amazing. once you put an actual white next to like different whites or faded whites or whatever, it's actually closer to the bumpers. But this almost looks like a tan now. So yeah, so I'm pretty much gonna do one coat on the whole thing, let it dry, do another coat, see how it comes out, probably do another coat. But yeah, at least I'll know it's protected. Okay, we got the finished product here. Looks really good. Came out pretty dang solid. A couple spots where it's not, but nice, protected, rust free. From here, I need to glue up the headliner, but I think I'm gonna let this all dry overnight because it's still kind of tacky, and I don't want to be messing this up when we go to put the window in, or even like when I'm putting the headliner up, gluing it, stuff falling on the dash, sticking to the dash. That would be very disappointing when everything came out so pretty. I put the little vent cover pieces back in. Look pretty good. Now it's time, everything is dry, everything is nice. Now it's time to glue up the headliner. A couple of the spots are a lot shorter, like they shrunk. And then when you try to stretch it, it cracks. So we'll see what happens there. I might just have to glue it because it's supposed to be like glued around this seal area. I might just glue it to the top, but then spots like this in the center pretty much go all the way to the seal area. So that'll be easy to clamp and get them to glue, but I'm gonna get that done. You guys see how it is? Now let me show you when it's done. Headliner is all glued and clipped up. I did put everything else back on, cleaned them all nice. Now one thing I haven't really shown in much videos, but I have driven this bus quite a bit. I wanted to get that motor broken in, and it's been doing great. Had a few leaks, a few of them I fixed, a few of them stopped, which is good, but it still has just one like major oil leak, and it was coming from like around where the pushrod tubes are. I've already replaced the outer pushrod tube seals again because the ones that were in it were the wrong size. But this seems like more by the block, so I figured, and it's only on one side. I figured that was the same situation. I didn't replace the inner ones, the smaller ones. And I just got under the bus, and it seems to not be the case. So I never actually opened up this motor. I just took the jugs off heads, you know, redid all that, as seen in the other videos. But as you can see, there's a leak just on this side. And it's in this little groove that's right here. And that is a, I think it's one of the bolts. See if I can get a video up there. I think that's one of the bolts that holds the motor together, that goes like through it. And it seems like, oh, that almost worked. It seems like that is what's leaking. You can see there's fluid sitting in that little channel, and that one is well covered. So I think what I'm gonna do is see if that bolt is loose, first of all. And then if it's tight, I'm gonna take it out, put some RTV on it, put it back in, let it sit overnight and see what happens. All right, it's been a few hours. I was hoping that I could just take that bolt out, put a new washer, or put some RTV on it and tighten it back down. Well, it would not tighten, it would not loosen, it would not do anything. It was just loose, and it was just like stripped in there. You could see how deep down in it was, so getting it out was gonna be kind of difficult. And after tons of stuff, trying different things, this is how I got it out. So any kind of extension was just popping out of the socket. So I welded the extension to the socket. Then from there, well, a socket fit perfectly on the bolt, so it's not like it's gonna pull it out while I'm unthreading it. So a little bit of cuts, a little bit of hammering, and then I would hammer that onto the bolt, and then I put vice grips right here. I pried up against the block as I was loosening it, and then eventually pulled out the nut that was in the block that was messed up. You can see the bolt itself is actually really messed up. I haven't gone under there to see what I'm gonna do now, but I did get it out and then realized that's the bolt that holds up the pickup tube. It's got a little bracket on it. I'll show you guys that in a second. So oil started going everywhere, and luckily enough I had the drain pan under there and caught it. It needed an oil change anyway, but still it's kind of weird. So we've got this blown up 2 liter here, and that's where the bolt came from, way in there, and then it goes obviously through the block, goes through this little piece on the pickup, which is right there. Yeah, sits in between, right there, and then threads into the other side of the block. I'm gonna take apart this 2-liter really quick, get it not heavy anymore, get rid of the crank, get rid of the cam, blah, 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 and come up with a solution on the 2-liter that's gonna work on the one that's in the bus. So what I'm trying to figure out is how much threads are still in the block. So I got a duplicate bolt that has same threads and same size, had to put a few washers on. I put this block back together with everything out of it, threaded this one in all the way so that it would be like it's in there, and then I saw it was actually this way. Let me show you over here. So it was threaded into that one, and I put white paint on to see how far that bolt was actually going in, and it was only that much. Now I ran a different bolt down into it, one with full threads. I don't know where it went, but this has about 1 inch of threads in it. So what I'm gonna do is get a tap, run it through there. I am gonna have to like extend the tap, just like I would have, you know, did to extend this because it's so far into the block. Retap it, get a longer screw with more threads, and everything should work. RTV, gasket, everything, so it doesn't leak. So I figured out what size that thread is. It's an M8 by 1.25, and what I did was get a tap, and I welded on a 1/4 inch drive, and then what I'm gonna, this one like perfectly punched on there so I know it's straight. I welded it, and then this is what's gonna be used to tap, retap the hole further and make sure the threads are good. I checked it, it does go, it will go all the way, even with this shoulder right there. So I'm just gonna put grease on it and go really slow, tap it out until I'm happy or it stops, and then I will go get a new special size bolt because I want it to be precise and work. So it is the next day. I messed with that oil leak issue until very late and didn't really get far. So those threads are completely pulled out, and it can't really be retapped because the size of the pickup tube little mount thing would have to be drilled out as well. So I've got a new plan. I think it's fine. It's kind of different, but honestly, I think it'll be all right. So in my opinion, that bolt, especially in the motor that's in the bus, was doing nothing but holding up that pickup tube. It wasn't tight, it wasn't torquing the block down, nothing. So I'm just gonna simulate that bolt being in there with a rod. I'm gonna stick a rod in there that's long enough to where it can't go back and forth. I'll probably put some RTV on it so it doesn't move as well. So it simulates it being in there, and then tap the outside of the block and put a plug. I think that's the best solution without completely tearing apart the motor and, well, fixing it just for that one issue. So what I need to figure out is what size tap I need for that hole, and then what size rod as well that will fit all the way through, be nice and tight, hold that pickup tube up, and then also, yeah, what the diameter, and then how length, so that it can't like go back and forth. It's just kind of sitting in there, and then I can put the plug over it and it won't leak oil. So here is my solution to this whole problem. I went and got a M10 by 1.5 tap that taps into the block really nice. I tested it on the 2-liter, works great. This is one of the bolts I bought that I was gonna put in there. I cut it down. It'll pretty much be simulating the bolt that was in there. This is 2.5 inches, so that'll just go inside of it. And then this, once it's tapped the outside, has a nice copper washer on it, copper, brass, whatever. And I'm gonna lather it in RTV. I'm gonna lather that in RTV so it doesn't move. And then this is gonna tighten down and keep that pin from coming out. I've already measured everything. So as long as that block isn't different, everything should work great. And then it'll seal, it'll hold the pickup tube up. And yeah, and then the head's correct, because I did buy a different bolt, but the head was too big. It didn't fit in that little area. This is my solution. So I need to tap out that block just about that much. And then I'm gonna do that really slow with grease, pull it out, clean it, inside, blah, pull it out, clean it, put all this in, and hopefully everything will be fixed. So I just wanna show you the area that I threaded. See if I can get my light better in there. But that's what I threaded on the other block, and then put the bolt in after I stuck that stud in there. Let me show you. Well, I guess I can't, because I already put everything back together. By the way, I put those lower shields on, lower air ducty thingsy. But yeah, there's a bolt in there. Everything's back together. I'm gonna let the RTV on the bolt sit for a day, and then put oil back in it, probably tomorrow. You ever just have one of those things that you start to fix and you go through so many tools that you end up with a pile like this? Yeah, me too. Now we can get back to what we were originally doing, putting the window in. All the headliner stuff's been sitting there for a day. This white paint out of the can is freaking, I painted that on. It's beautiful. But yeah, we can put the window back in it. Also, have you ever just really needed to clean your ear out? O'Reilly's has got you. I used some of those because they're longer to clean out that hole before, to try to get any of the shavings and stuff out as well. And they worked well. There's a whole pack of these at O'Reilly's, so it worked. So now that the window seal is all nice and pretty and painted, it's time to put the window in. If you haven't done a VW window before, or any one that has an actual like seal, not like a glue, get some rope, something to cut it, and very soapy water. And what you're gonna do is, and I'll show you, but set the window down, put the seal around it, put the rope around it in the groove that it's actually gonna sit on the bus, on the Volkswagen, whatever you're doing. Cut it a little bit longer so that you have an edge to pull the seal over. All right, now that you put the seal on your window, you cut out a piece of rope, yarn, something like that. Just got it from Lowe's, about this thick. And what you do is, this isn't our piece, but you wrap it where it's gonna sit, you put it in there, you go all the way around, and you have extra coming out. So when you start to install it, you pull it, and it pulls the seal onto the bus. Easy. And make sure to soak it in soap, something lubricant-y. I don't know, I guess you could maybe put some kind of oil on it, but that's the easiest way to do it because it evaporates and it's gone. Yeah, let's get this done. And also don't forget to cross the bottom as well. So this one, let it come out here, and this one, let it come out here, so when you pull it, it fully seats the seal.
Yeah.
Well, that was really quick. That was a very easy process. Have someone on the outside holding the window, kind of pushing on the seal, pushing on the glass, someone inside grabbing the strings and pulling them, and that went really smooth. Now you can see it's a nice seal all the way along, and then it kind of kicks back in. So I think I need to continue to pull this. The inside's great, but I need to continue to pull this out, and it's supposed to sit like there instead of over there. And then the glass might need to kind of shimmy around, but came out great. And bam, it is all back together, all nicely sealed. Seal popped up, did great. I want to thank, I think it's Walker Automotive, or Walker Glass, Bo. I asked Bo, and they were able to get me that glass at an amazing price, and same day, so that was awesome. They recommended that seal. The seal went right in, no problems, nothing at all. I'm used to using either, you know, the German seals or whatever, but that one did really good, so I'm impressed. Next, I'm gonna put it a little bit back together, so things that I took off. Wipers, and visors, and rear view mirror. Get this thing back together. Also, I don't know if it's a thing, but when I was putting the wiper blades back on, this one, or one of them, is like a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch longer. So I'm not sure if that's a thing, but just make sure to check that when you're putting the wiper arms back on. Okay, everything's back together, everything's back on. I did clean up everything. There was quite a bit of dust on there, and I've got her running. She's sounding good. Hey Turbo, how are you? How are you? I don't think I showed her in this video, so I had to get the shot in. So it's been a while since I actually videoed that video you just saw, and I just wanted to let you know that the bus is not leaking where I redid that area that was messed up on the motor, and the front window is nice and sealed. There hasn't been any leaks on the inside. Dash still looks gorgeous. Turbo wants to thank you for watching, and please, she keeps telling me you guys need to like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. I am so close to 500 subscribers. Hopefully this video will be the one for that, and I look forward to the next 500. 1,000 is always the goal when you're starting out YouTube, and well, I'm on my way. I still have a few more videos for the bus. Still need to get some things done before we put it up for sale, but as soon as that is all wrapped up, we will get back into the bug content. Not this one, the one that's in there. The matching numbers 1960 Euro bug. I am dreading doing the bodywork on it, but I can't wait until this car is done. It's gonna be something. But that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more. High five out.